And we're back with some more Planet Crafters. And we haven't really gone any further than the last episode, but what we're doing right now is we're going to get our hands on some... what's it called? Osmium. Yes, we're going to get our hands on some osmium. I think there's supposed to be biological stuff coming out of this, is there? No, never mind. Maybe that's a different thing. Whatever. Now, I have been advised that there is... whatever the hell it's called, at the top of this cliff. Where there was ice before, the ice should have melted, and we should now gain access to this new resource that we need to make miners. I have also been advised that we need to abandon this valley because it will flood and we will all die. Well, okay, everything will be disabled, so it's better to just get out of here now before it all goes to hell in a handbasket. Yeah, 1 second. Boom. And assuming the heat has gotten up enough, this should be... Oh! I was told this should be melted already. Oh. Wait. Wait, no, it has melted. Well, parts of it have melted. What are you? Osmium. There we go. What are you? Sulfur. Perfect. More osmium, more sulfur. You got any more? Okay, second piece of sulfur. Oh, no. Can't be leaving you guys behind. Anything else in here? Okay, then. Well, one thing Ooh. No, more sulfur. One thing I would like to try is placing down an ore extractor. Oh, yeah. Supposedly, if you place an ore extractor in here... Warning, low power. Well, okay, fair enough. That makes sense. Give me a minute. Gotta go make another solar panel. I made a solar panel before we came here, specifically for this. Ooh, iron. But I presume it needed more solar. Okay, second solar panel installed. That's got the power up and running again. We need to go back up and check how that mining is going. Now, first, I do need to dump off a bunch of this stuff. And we now have sulfur. Yeah, that's going to be a new one as well. And this osmium. Hopefully we can get more osmium. That means we can make more mining drills. That will simplify our life. Alright, you. How does this... Ooh. It actually has the box on it. Already given us titanium. That's not what we care about. We want the good stuff. Give us the good stuff. Okay, titanium again. Damn it. So we got titanium, magnesium, titanium. Maybe this is not the right place for this mine. You know what? We'll come back in a bit. We'll leave it for now. We'll come back once it's full. I could have sworn drops of rain just fell out of the sky. Terraforming's starting to work. Oh, damn. It's actually raining. Okay, we should really start moving out of this valley. Things are going to probably become more and more problematic the longer we stay here. Before we move the base, I thought we'd install a few things, namely the compass. So installing this thing here gives us that compass at the top of the map, or top of the screen. It's mildly useful, but I think I'd prefer, what is it? Screen mapping. Shows a map of the surrounding area. Give me some iron and silicone real quick. God damn it, there goes the power again. Fine, we'll deconstruct you. And we'll build another solar panel super quick. Okay. What do you got first? No satellite in orbit. Send a mapping rocket into space to receive signal. Oh. That's kind of pointless. In that case, I suppose we just deconstruct it. We don't need that. Where the hell did... I went back to the cave to have a quick check before we went on a spree. There was some more osmium outside. Unless it's respawning or some more ice melted. Still no more osmium in here. I presume this thing would find some osmium at some point. You know what? Never mind. We got a second piece of osmium. That means we can make a second drill. We'll probably put that down in the aluminium area. We can get ourselves some more aluminum. It makes our lives an awful lot simpler. Alright, so I think I know what the problem is. We can't use this here. Wait, no. We can build this here, but it won't extract what we want. We want it to extract the rare resource that's here, the osmium. I had to look it up. Turns out you can't extract osmium with a T1 mining drill. You need a T2 mining drill, which we do not have access to. Unfortunately, extracting osmium that way is not going to work. Instead, we'll probably dump it on some aluminium or something and see what happens from there. All right, then. In that case, we have another plan. we're going to go and chuck it down on top of the aluminum hills over there. If we put it down in the aluminum area, that should give us aluminium, and that aluminium should allow us to, well, build everything we need. And then we're going to go locate a new base area. What do you got? Ooh, still something in here? Yeah, we'll take it. All right. We're now at the weird aluminum place. So, you have like some weird mining thing you can do. Like if we put you down here. Now it says aluminium. Oh, yeah, okay. So in that case, scrap that for a second. Let's go over towards where we had our little base. Yeah. Be nice to put it somewhere near here. Actually, no. We're going to put it on the edge. I want to actually move our entire base, and the closer this is to our base, the less times we have to like move back and forth large distances. Yeah, that still says aluminium to me. Alright, let's go move this entire little base over here a little bit closer. I'd like to have somewhere to store the resulting output from that drill. Alright, I should probably explain my silly plan here. This drill, when you place it down on top of certain resource types, will then prioritize that resource. It won't get it all the time, but you see down here? It says aluminium. On the last place, it was showing iron. So this place is going to get far more aluminium than any of the other resources, but it will still get titanium, cobalt, iron, all the other ones. And actually, if we grab, say, a few of those other resources right now, with those resources that we grabbed around the place, it means we get some solar panels. Now, the great thing about this is it's effectively sort of renewable. As in, this is going to keep spitting out aluminium, cobalt, magnesium, all that stuff. The percentages are available online. We'll have too much aluminium coming out, but we can always put down a second drill. The big problem is we need more iridium and we need more, osmium. So iridium and osmium, we're going to need more of those because we're going to need a drill on each one of those. But to drill those, well, we need tier 2 drills, I believe. Actually, wait, no, I'm wrong. Iridium you can get with a tier 1 drill. Tier 2 drills are required for the osmium. But I figure we can get a few bits and bobs of those. Now, we're going to start moving. We're going to start trekking across. We have food. We got water. We're going to head over to the caves over there, and we're going to keep passing through. Actually, we might have a quick stop over here to see if there's any more food and water. We're going on a long trek. We're going to find ourselves a new base location. I want to see if we can pass through those caves to the other side. I think there's a nice area to set up over there. It's just a case of actually getting there that might be the problem. There's those lovely caverns over there. Maybe we should go and have a quick look at those caverns while we're about. I mean, they're really close. Oh, yeah, we did leave a bunch of good stuff here. Ooh, and there's a crate in here. Well, if it's got some food, that would be very nice. Nope, never mind. 300% multiplier, and it's got food, and it's got uranium. Yeah, we'll take it. We don't actually need the aluminium anymore, and the iridium. Damn it. Can't help myself, can I? Super alloy, yes. Okay, I need to get out of here, or otherwise I'm just going to be super distracted. No. We're going to go back out of here, and... Ooh. That place is... Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could get lost in there very easy. I'm going to be a little bit more careful about going in there next time. Instead, we're going to head over to those caves, and we're going to head over to the area we think is nice. First, though, quick stop for O2 and water. We need water as well, and food. Oof, this cave is kind of foggy. You know what? It's fine. We are going to pass through. We're only going through here temporarily, and as far as I'm aware, despite how scary it looks in here, there is nothing that can kill you on this game. Like, it's all the environment you got to worry about more than anything else. Let's go. Can we get through here? Never mind. Let's keep going. Maybe there's another way out. Well, we did find a blueprint, I suppose. That's not the worst. Ooh, and some more food. And some more of that bean seed. Do we have mushrooms? You know what? We'll take the mushrooms, too. Damn man, there's uranium. Fine. I'll come back for you in a bit. No. We got to find a new place to set up. And, yeah, I think we got to go back out again. Yeah, there's no way through here to the other side. According to reports, I've been told I should go to the other side because on the other side there's a nice little valley. It's the preferred method for everyone is to settle on the little plains out here. But I want to try something slightly different. The problem is, as this place gets terraformed, it's going to get wetter. and that means, well, flooding. And where our current base is, it will get flooded, I have been advised. So, get moving and find somewhere else to stay. Alright. So, something about a sandfall desert or something like that? Looks like it's a little bit higher up, less likely to get some flooding. Now let's find a new location for our base in here somewhere. Oh yeah. Over where all that sandy stuff is. That looks like it would be really, really annoying and would result in an awful lot of problems. You know what, I'll check that case out later. For now, we just got to set up a base. We need somewhere to store everything. Replenish oxygen, keep food, maybe grow some food. Yeah, I like the look of this area, and there's plenty of raw resources around the place. Hard part will be transferring over our currently existing base to this new location. That could be a problem. Now, could we make one of these already? We would need 2 titanium, which we do not have. Tell you what. Put him there. Well, we just don't have enough titanium then. Fine. You are going to be temporary. Your purpose is just to store a little bit of stuff while we get around to making a proper-sized habitat. How do we not have enough iron? We are going to build this thing nice and high. Now, give me a big living compartment there. That's what we want. Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. How can that levitate so high? There? That fine, or is it poking through it too much? I presume that's okay, right? And give us some stairs. Nope, nope, nope. There you go. Perfect. Then all we need is some doors. Oh. Yeah, well, I suppose that makes sense. And... nice. Alright then. Now all we need is some more iron, and we can put in a nice cabinet in there. Give us everything. And also give us one more iron if you wouldn't mind. Perfect. So you can take all this junk. All of it. What the hell is a bioplastic nugget? I mean, I'll take all this junk, but I feel like I don't know what some of it's for. Alright. This is going to be our new base. We're going to expand out in here. We're going to expand this, and this is where we're going to put all of our terraforming equipment. The hard part is going to be transferring it all over here, so I'm going to just do that in the background without anyone noticing. It will be quite a time lapse, I'm afraid. Or a time skip. What the hell is this area? It's just... at first I thought the toxic smoke was going to kill us, but it's not. And yeah, I think... yeah, I saw sulfur around here. So this place seems to be a source of sulfur, which means we're probably close to explosives. You know what? Not mining anything. We're just passing through. Oh, well, we would be if it wasn't all blocked up with ice. Ah, this must be the ice from the other side. Yeah, we can't get through that until it gets to 500 NK heat, which... oh. Or never mind. But a one-way trip? No? That's... you mean I could have just went through that way the first time? That's my bad. That's my bad. We're back into the caves here, are we? Oh, wait, no. This is different. Ooh. I want to mine you. I don't know if it's possible, but I want to mine you. Yeah, this is the actual cave that goes into the iridium caves. Yeah, and we can't get in there. Never mind. I thought we had found a way around. We have not. Unless there's a way to fly up there. Good time to start looking into the jetpack. And we found more osmium. Oh, yes. That means we can put down more mining. I'm going to have a quick look around here for some more osmium. Because if we can get down 2 or 3 more mines, that's incredible. Thought we'd have a quick look back here. Yeah, you know what? Let's just try building a solar panel and see what happens. Missing silicon. Well, in that case, we'll just have to find some silicon lying around the place. Had to whip around a bit for some magnesium and some silicon, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 more solar panels. Pretty much all powered by this one mine. So this fed into this. We need to find one of those closer to where we're making our new base. I'll do some research into that, and hopefully we can find an aluminium patch over there that we can tap into. But for now, I am very happy with that power production. We're going to go grab some resources from back home and cart them over. Probably the rarer stuff. We can get the more common stuff over at that end. And transfer complete. And then some. Alright. So we transferred over all of the screens, the tier 2 crafting station, all of the terraforming stages stuff. And we stuck in a whole bunch of these containers. So we've got a full container of iron, titanium, silicon, all that stuff. Inside here, we've got our heat production buildings. We're not really using those as much. And over here, we have food. So this is not ready yet. It's at 70%, but we have basically stuck in beans and I think that's a squash. 1 second, what would you find out? Yes, it turns out beans are the best at 60 restored health. Then squash comes second, I think I want to say 50. And then mushrooms come in at 35 and eggplant at 25. So currently we're growing the stuff that gives us the most health or bang for your buck. Then, this here is a biodome. Perfect place to grow plants and generate O2. But it seems to come with this thing here, which it's basically a new tech tree, but you unlock it by having more biomass. And the way you get biomass is by putting down, say, these things. What is it? Grass spreaders. They produce plants, and that plants counts as biomass. So we got to put down a bunch more of those to really start unlocking this, but we'll worry about that later. This section here is a biolab. So the biolab here costs 2 osmium, 3 super alloy, and some aluminium, and you can now start making things like explosive powder, mutagen, fertilizer tier 1 and 2, bioplastic nuggets, and bacterial samples. Bioplastic actually requires mushrooms. Mushrooms are terrible as a food, but it turns out they're useful for making bioplastics. And eggplant, terrible as a food, but good for making fertilizer, and squash, not as good as beans for being a food, but good for making fertilizer tier 2. Explosive powder requires sulfur and iridium. We you know what? We'll worry about those later. But let me have a quick run through some of the other things we've done. We've got this thing down. This produces water. Just sucks water out of the atmosphere, and this allows us to not have to use ice anymore. We can just yum. To fill up all of the iron, magnesium, titanium, all that stuff in there, we just have 2 mines out here. They predominantly mine iron, but they will get you titanium, silicon, cobalt, all of that stuff. So we just let those mine away in the background, and we use them to fill up our storages. Then, 1 second, let me head back to show you where we moved all of our mining equipment and all the stuff we're using for terraforming. Our terraforming has gone up a bit in the background because it took me far too long to move everything here. And after I moved everything here, I decided this was a terrible idea and I should have moved it somewhere else. But at this point, I'm too pot committed, and I'm like, nah, we're staying here now. We come out of this place, and we hang a right. The sand finally loads in, and then we start heading around towards this area, which is the sort of desert flat area. So this desert flat area, there's a ship over there we explored in the last episode, and this is the Iridium Caves. It's the place that generates the iridium ore, and there's the sand waterfall. And we've also stuck a couple of mines in here. And they produce us iridium, which we really, really, really like. Have you got iridium? Oh yeah, yeah, you know what? We'll take everything, but we're probably going to have to fix those up later. But yes, this is where we're mining some excess iridium because you need so much of it. But anyway, outside of the Iridium Caves, we head back over here and you will see our base in the distance. Our starter base. I have been advised, quite reliably, it will flood. Nope, yep, the water's already kicking in. So that base where we started over there, that's going to flood. There's the little capsule that we started in. And then what I did was I moved all of the mining equipment and everything out of that valley because that is all going to get flooded and become not useful. Ooh, got a vehicle station. I really have to check that out. All right, later. All right, this over here is all of the solar we had put down. 2 of the plant production things that make oxygen. So that one's producing 39 oxygen. That one's producing 39. And yeah, the miners producing their atmospheric power. And this thing here seems to be producing, I think this is the biomass, plus 0.19 grams a second of plant mass. I think we need to make a bunch more of those. But yeah, we moved all the mining equipment over there because moving it all the way over to our home base or our new base, yeah, that's just too much effort. But over here, over at the aluminum obelisks, aluminum Stonehenge, aluminium whatevers, yeah, you'll notice there is a absolute butt ton of solar panels. This place produces, well, basically all the resources that go into making solar panels. So you can sort of hop over here, have a quick check, grab all this. Oh, no, we're going to need some cobalt, aren't we? Give me like... Yeah, I don't think we have enough cobalt to make this work. Nope, nope, never mind. We got 4 pieces of cobalt there. And then we just throw down some more solar panels. That's sort of the point of this thing. It's effectively translating whatever we mine out of the ground into more power, which we then use to power our base. But yes, this is where the majority of the power for our base is coming from, all running off this one drill. These drills, awesome sauce. They do require 2 osmium and 1 iridium rod. Those 2 resources are a little bit tricky to get your hands on, but the iridium rod we get from the iridium caves. We have 2 miners there, which is why we have a bunch of iridium on us. And at the same time, the osmium, well, we find a couple of locations for that, but that's effectively the whole transfer process complete. We have moved our base from over there to the new location, and now what we have to do is, well, start boosting our terraforming so that we don't have these howling winds all the time. Now, one thing to note, we should probably just pop in here real quick and grab an oxygen top-up, is the ice has melted over this direction, so let me pop over here real quick. You see, top right, it's gone from about 2 MTI to 6. So there has been some changes in the pressure while it took ages to move everything across. Migrating everything is just a pain in the butt. The general consensus, it seems to be, is, yeah, don't migrate everything over. Just move immediately the moment you spawn. Don't stay in the valley that's going to flood. Immediately run somewhere else. We're also using a jetpack now, so we can kind of do this hover thing, which is really valuable, and also much faster. But as you can see, we're able to get back to home base much quicker. Though if I had this all to do over again, I think I would have just settled right beside the aluminium fields over there. That place is just far better for producing stuff. However, there is a reason we came over here, and it's to do with these big waterfalls of sand. Turns out these waterfalls of sand are not dangerous. You can just wander right into them. And those sand waterfalls actually contain some really nice goodies. Here we go. Super alloy. So, yeah, this place contains super alloy, and it's also got this cave in it that contains a few other things. Namely, sulfur and the stuff that goes into making mines. This stuff. Osmium. So, this place has osmium, which you can use to make miners, and it also has access to super alloy, which is incredibly expensive and difficult to obtain. And why can't we get through here? Are we going to need to make explosives to blast that open? You know what? See what else you got. You know what? We will take the lot. But, yes, this cave, awesome sauce for all of the goodies it gives us. At the same time, just outside of the cave, you can just hang a right and go grab yourself a whole bunch of... Nope, that's not super alloy. There we go. More super alloy. Yeah, I'm just gonna, like, strip mine a bunch of this. There's actually a cave around here full of super alloy as well. Or, well, it was full of super alloy. We stole it all to make a jetpack. So, yes, why did we move here? Easy access to super alloy, which we have now strip mined. At the same time, it gives us easy access to some more of that iridium, which is in the caves just across the way. And it also gives us access to the osmium, so we can put down more miners. And then we use these 2 miners to stock up on all the basic resources that we need. I should probably empty these out. Plus, okay, excluding the aluminium, these guys can actually be used to make more super alloy. Let me demonstrate. Super alloy requires cobalt, iron, magnesium, silicon, titanium, and aluminium. And we just basically grab a bunch of that stuff. Nope, not all the iron. Just say get rid of a couple of iron and give me a few aluminium. And then we should be able to just go, hey, turn that excess resources into more super alloy. And that's given us 6 more super alloy, which we can... Oh, actually, storage is full there. No, we'll stick it in the excess stuff where we've got bioplastic and things. It's fine. It's fine. I think we can now finally get around to this stage. I should have done this ages ago, but I was holding out because well, we kind of needed to get a bunch, but we needed to do the move, and I wanted everything to be coherent. So over here, we can launch rockets, and we have three choices. One is pressure multiplier, gives a tenfold bonus to all of the pressure gains we're making from the planet. One is asteroid attraction rocket, gives a heat multiplier of tenfold as well. And then we've got a GPS satellite, provides geolocation to the mapping screen. All sounds wonderful, but I think we're going to do magnetic field and asteroid attraction. Both of these attracts uranium asteroids. And what's this one? Okay, actually, we'll do the uranium asteroids one first. That might get us more power. So, 2 super alloy, 3 cobalt, or we can just right-click, and it will show up in the top left. And then we just have to construct that, or get the bits and pieces ready to go. Now, to make a rocket engine, you need an iridium fuel rod. With that is you need 2 uranium, a super alloy, and the iridium rod, that requires 9 iridium. That's a lot. That's why we've got those mines going 24/7 to get us as much of this stuff as possible. Give us that iridium rod, please. Sweet. Then we just need 2 uranium and a super alloy. We have gotten all of the prerequisite ingredients. You can see them there in the top left. And we are going to craft ourselves an asteroid attraction rocket that will give a heat multiplier of 1,000%. You know what? Whoop. Let's check out what the heat is first. Heat at the moment is 126 pKs a second. I could tell you what that means, but I'd have to look it up. And you know what? It's not worth it. It's a number that's at 128 pK. And then we fire this sucker off. And, oh. Right, launch. Coolable. I don't know where you're going or what you're targeting, but I wish you luck. Now, that should also cause... What is it? Attracts uranium asteroids. Come on, buddy. I can hear stuff falling from the sky. Let's not get hit by them. Right, I'm not going up there. So could something land a little bit closer? Not too close, but close enough. Okay, I think we're going to have to go up there to see if we can find some uranium. Yeah, that's like 3 strikes in that location. That's crazy good. And it looks like there's 2 more inbound. No, no. Well, you missed by a mile. Whoa. Yeah, like the top of that cliff just seems like it's very tasty right now for uranium asteroids. Well, let's check what the heat's at. The heat is now at 1,260 pK a second. Right, so yeah, it totally works. In that case, 1 second. What was the next we want to make the other rocket. Now, these things don't stack. I've been advised that you can only do, like, this thing, we can't get another 1,000% multiplier. We have to wait till we get a better rocket. We need to make another rocket engine, 2 super alloy, and 3 silicon. You know what? I think we're going to try and get that uranium first, because that would give us, well, access to more power. I think we can get up this cliff, especially with this jetpack. Jetpack's cool. Unfortunately, it requires 2 iridium rods, which requires 9 iridium each, which means you have to spend 18 iridium making this stuff work. And... yeah, we made it to the top. Okay, yeah, nope, there's definitely some uranium here. Yeah, those asteroids totally did their thing. That's why we don't... sometimes you'd find resources and you don't have to mine them, and now I get it. It's because they fell from asteroids. Asteroid resources don't need mining. And we just need about 9 of these to make a rod, and we can put ourselves together a nice reactor. Damn it, I can't... why can't I see that, whatever it is? I can see the glowing, I just can't see... never mind. That is 15 uranium from launching that rocket. Which means 9 of it can go into making a uranium rod. How much does that nuclear reactor Mark II cost? Oh, it takes 3 uranium rods to make one of those? I think we might be stuck making a single one, actually. Oof. I think we need to launch more rockets to get more uranium, or we need to go searching for more uranium on the map. Alternatively, we could just make a T1 nuclear reactor. What's our power looking like? We have power. We have power. We're good for a while, I think. Yeah, I think we're good. You know what? We're just not going to worry about uranium for a while. Okay, this next rocket we're about to produce is going to increase pressure multiplier by 1000%. Nice. Does it actually attracts iridium asteroids? Well, that's good. It takes 9 iridium to make each one of these rockets. Namely because each one of these requires a rocket engine, and each rocket engine requires an iridium rod, and iridium rods require 9 iridium. And then, ooh. Yeah, no. Where are you landing? Damn it. Land somewhere easier to get to. That one looks like it's coming right for us. You know, no, you're going above. Perfect, we can grab you later. Just so long as we get 9 iridium back, it basically pays for itself. And I think there's a consistent pattern here. If 2 more fall here, I'm going to be like, yeah, that's their plan. Yeah, looks like we're heading back up to the top of the cliffs again. And maybe a little bit over there. Well, perfect as that was, we need to get ready for the next stages. How's this looking? 11.79%, 11.8. Yeah, it's going up too slow. We're going to need better tech. And I think we've unlocked some better stuff. Alright, I've just been wandering around, and you know what? There is just so much iridium now just lying about the place, and uranium with it. It seems that the asteroids all sort of cluster in the same spots. But I figure we just launch a lot of rockets and we'll get loads of those. Now, where's water? We need water for what we have planned next. And there's none out here in the desert. Right, well, looks like we're heading back to our sort of starting area. Yep, definitely should have settled over there. But, you know, you live and you learn, and I wanted to try something slightly different from the standard. So, it didn't work. Next time, maybe. There's the water. Ooh, there's another pool. What we want to do is place down this new thing in the water. This new thing is the T1 algae generator. We're going to put you right there. And growth speed. How do we get algae out of this? I think we need to get our hands on algae so that we can use it to craft later tech. You don't seem very good. You see, the thing is, we can make a flower spreader, but that requires fertilizer, and fertilizer requires algae, and algae, I presume, came from this algae spreader? We'll worry about it later. Alright, let's have a quick scan around here and see if any of those shiny asteroids landed anywhere out here. You know, a little bit of uranium or iridium would be quite nice right about now. One thing we definitely need to knock out is this vehicle station. No, I want you this direction. Nice. Now, what can you actually make? I want some sort of buggy with storage. Vehicle rover. 2 rocket engines, uranium, iron. Yeah, no, that's very doable. Vehicle equipment increase. Increase the number of equipment slots. Vehicle speed increase. Zeolite. I don't have that. Sulfur, cobalt, and silicon for lights. We've got that. Beacon. We don't have zeolite. We're going to have to do some searching for that. But a vehicle first, which means we need 2 rocket engines, uranium, iron, silicon, and fabric. Very doable. So we got around to making the car, but there have been maybe a few changes along the way. As you can see, the place is looking a little bit greener. Probably to do with all of those plant spreaders we stuck about the place. And, how do I explain this stupidity? Alright, no, it's not that bad, it's not that bad. Okay, so what we want is T2 ore extractors, right? We have T1 ore extractors, and we use those to extract the iridium. We need that iridium to make the iridium rods, right? And then we also need lots of power. We want lots of power so we can put down lots of miners and other things to actually generate oxygen, heat, and pressure. So, for example, there is like about 8 mining drills out there, plus another 4 mining drills off the other side, and we wanted that because we were trying to increase the heat. Also, we kept launching rockets. Turns out I was wrong. It doesn't actually stop the multiplier. You get a by 10 multiplier for the first one, and then it's additive. It's not multiplicative. So Launching 2 rockets of the same type gives it by 20 multiplier. 10 rockets will give you 100 multiplier. So launching more and more rockets is good. But that requires lots of iridium. And as well as that, when you launch those rockets, one of the resulting rocket types is the one that brings down uranium, which actually solves a bunch of problems. Because, was it this one here attracts uranium asteroids? And they all sort of land in the same spot. Some of them land up there, some of them land a little bit over there, some of them land in here, and a few more land over there. And they're pretty reasonably consistent in where you can find them. So one of those rockets will generally bring down enough uranium to give us 3 uranium rods, and then those uranium rods get turned into nuclear reactors. Those nuclear reactors provide us with gobsmackingly large amounts of power. We have 2,379 kilowatts and we're using only 1,200. So as you can see, pretty good. We also did a little bit of a change here. So on top of the habitat here, you'll see we put in a biodome at the back that generates bark. We've got the biolab at the rear, and this is another little laboratory thing as well. And food-wise, we've installed a bunch of these grow labs so that we can just like have some of the ingredients necessary. For example, we want eggplants so that we can make fertilizer, and we need more mushrooms so we can get bioplastic nuggets. And and we found the algae. That algae building we put down in the pond, yeah, it turns out it does generate algae. You just have to give it a while. So we came back later and grabbed some of that. But this has all went quite well. We still have not unlocked the T2 ore extractors. The reason we really want the T2 ore extractors is this bottleneck, osmium. We need osmium to make more mining drills, or to make more ore extractors. We also need osmium to make more T4 drills because they require osmium as well. And T2 ore extractors can extract osmium from the ground. So we don't have to just find it lying around the place. We can actually start manually producing it ourselves. And once we can produce one mine, we can then use the osmium from it to produce another 5 or 6 mines. Ooh, depending on what it takes to build one of these things, what's the resources required to make one of those? You know what? Doesn't make a difference. We're going to go exploring. We have got like plenty of stuff going on. If I'm checking out this here, this is going up fast enough now that I'm pretty sure we'll get to the T2 ore extractors in a bit. We would also like to make a gas extractor, but that requires zeolite, which we don't have access to, which is why we want to start exploring. We've no zeolite. We've also got this machine optimizer, but you have to insert fuses into it, and we don't have access to fuses because we haven't found them. Namely, I've been concentrating on grinding out all of the industrial sections of it, and I haven't been doing any of the exploring. So we're going to load up on resources and go raid a ship. Hi-ho. Hi-ho. It's off to work we go. This thing is actually slower than flying around on the backpack, but it does come with a storage container, so extra storage means we have less trips if you want to bring back lots and lots of resources. And we're going to be able to squeeze out there? Oh yeah, we can. Perfect, perfect. Right, and there is a ship right outside our front door that I've been meaning to raid for ages, but I'm like, I'll leave it until we've got ourselves stabilized, and then I can do it all at once. I've been sort of stuck in that loop of, well, I would like to raid it, and I really should, but I didn't have time to record the footage of it, so I just sort of left it there. I wonder if this thing can go through water, or if that would cause it problems. Also, as well as that, I'm thinking about moving my algae dispensers to over there. That would actually be much closer in a closer harvest. You, what do you got? Ooh. Ooh, mushroom seeds. We desperately needed a bunch of those. In fact, wow, this is all good stuff. That was literally all good stuff. And there's nowhere else to go in here. Fine, fine, fine. Alright. In that case, what we'll do is we shall put our... Actually, let's not put the resources in just yet. I just want to demonstrate one of the things we've done. Oh, damn it. I left the resources at home. I'm an idiot. Now, what I meant to demonstrate was we bring along enough resources to always do this. Boom. So we now have ourselves some place to store up and, well, get our oxygen back. Actually, 1 second. While we've got all of that stuff there, we can dump all of this into the storage container there. So, quick top up, and then once we've topped up, we deconstruct it. And done. We are now basically ready to go again. And all we have to worry about is water and food. So long as we always keep one of these on us, or enough resources on us to make one of those little oxygen pods, we'll never have to worry. And that there does look like an entry point. That's a lot of gamer chairs you got going on in here. Yep, this is definitely a bigger ship. Alright, let's start exploring. You can go. We still have not got a T2 deconstruction ship. Ooh, what do you got? Uranium run. Ooh. Hey, I've been advised that these chests, they spawn stuff at the level they're at. Ooh, a Nuna suit. What the hell is that? 300% multiplier. Yeah, we'll take them all. Why not? But that means that you're sometimes better off waiting, it seems, to open some of the chests. Like if you came here really early, you'd get terrible trash in here. You sometimes just want to wait until it's later on in the game. So that's why I was not in a huge rush to come here and empty this place out. I figured if we waited a little bit, it just meant we'd get shinier goods. Eggplant seeds. Yes, in fact, more seeds the better. I think they're going to be a bit of a bottleneck. I was advised they're a bit of a bottleneck, but I never... Ooh, rocket? Rocket engine? Nice. That looks like the worst toilet imaginable. Let's keep exploring. Oh, there's 2 floors to this as well. Oh, that's blueprint. I can smell a blueprint. Thank you. And the joy of this is we're able to pop out here, dump a bunch of the resources into the Jeep so that we don't have to worry about bringing them home anytime soon. And we can also put in a quick blueprint screen here. And that means we can immediately decode that blueprint we just picked up. T4 mining speed. I was really hoping to get the deconstructor chipped. I'm really curious what some of those things are that we can deconstruct, or we should be able to deconstruct, but we haven't been able to yet. Oop. The climbing in this is absolutely instant, which is very disconcerting. That's a fusion reactor. I wonder if there's anything in that one. More blueprints. Yes, please. And you are also empty. I'll have to wait until we can either find your power cells or whatever it is. I can't deconstruct this stuff. Ooh, chest. Blueprint, fertilizer. Yeah, we'll take it all. All good stuff. We'll take the lot. Ooh. Seeds. Yes, yes, yes. Blueprint. This place is an absolute treasure trove. I want to say I should have came here earlier, but at the same time, maybe it's better we waited so that we get all the good stuff from the chests. Come on, let's see what else you got down here. We're almost full from this run, but we can hold out a little bit longer. An entire chest of iron. That's just weird. We'll take the lot of you. And they now have spacesuit... No, spacesuit Turbio. Yeah, I don't think I even care about the spacesuits. It's not like I'm getting to look at my character ever anyway. And first thing we want to do here, decode the blueprints. A tier 2 GPS satellite. I haven't even built the first GPS satellite. T2 jetpack. Alright, that interests me. Can't build it here, of course. Microchip map. Okay. That would make navigating probably easier. And new blueprint received display case. Really looking for that deconstruction chip. Found your first golden flower. What is this? Golden seed. Oxygen multiplier 600%. Okay, that seems pretty useful. After a little bit of careful curating, this is our full loot haul. I think this worked out quite nicely. We had a little bit of leftover iron, but we left the iron in the storage container. We don't care. We got everything we could out of the ship. Let's head back. This is going to give us all the seeds we need to expand fertilizer production. Though I will need to install a couple of algae production facilities closer to the mouth of the cave. Right now we have to travel quite a distance to get our algae and our aluminium. Yeah, bad location start, but it's fine. It's fine. We can fix that. And I think I should be heading this direction. Okay, that's both of the GPS rockets launched. I kind of wanted to see what it did. So this is the map screen. I've been trying to figure this out. Oh, you can actually see the rocket there, look. Oh, damn it, come back here. Yeah, the rocket, it's flying off the edge of the screen. And it disappeared. But from what I can see here, you can zoom in and out, but the distance you can zoom in and out is dependent on how good the GPS satellites you have are. What is that? Oh, I think that's our starting area. So this is our new base. This is where we started off. This is the sort of plateau where there's the aluminium obelisks over here. So basically, we come up here, came around and through here to build our base. We should have just built our base here. This would have been a smarter plan. In here, you've got the caves that give us the red stuff. In here, you've got the aluminium. And over here, around the edges, we found some super alloy. And we even found some super alloy in these caves as well. But I think it's time we travel a little bit further afield. Actually, nope. I forgot something. Before we travel further afield, I want to show you why we were so happy to get all of those seeds. Those seeds work by basically growing a plant, and then when the plant grows, you harvest it, but the seed stays behind. So you can effectively, as long as you come back every so often and harvest the plant, you can just get lots of them. So we have mushrooms, eggplants, squash, and beans. The beans we eat, but all the rest actually have production purposes. So if we pop back in here, and we check out this section, we can make bioplastic from 2 mushrooms and silicon. That bioplastic is involved in creating algae generators. Now, algae generators seem to require the bioplastic, but the basic ones require eggplant for some reason. I have no idea why. It also requires fertilizer to make these, and fertilizer requires 3 algae, 1 sulfur, and 2 eggplant. So we need the eggplants to make the fertilizer, we need the mushrooms to make the bioplastic nuggets, and to make fertilizer tier 2 we need squash and algae and some methane cartridges. The methane cartridges we haven't got around to. The explosive powder we can make, that just requires iridium and sulfur. We haven't even started a mine on sulfur yet. We haven't actually needed that much of it. But this is why I was so happy to get all those seeds, because we only had 1 mushroom seed, and it was making the growing of these just a little bit difficult and a bit of a bottleneck if we wanted to make anything involving them. You know, basically bioplastic. But thankfully we find a bunch of bioplastic nuggets as we went around, so it hasn't been that bad. Ooh, come on, you're good. Whee! Yeah, they're not gonna make it, are they? Yeah, this is why I don't think I'd be any good at Kerbal Space Program. Right, I've launched a bunch of rockets here. I figure, let all those meteors fall, then when I come back I can go collect them, because the rocks will despawn and it's just easier to find them. Alright, where were we? Ah yes, exploration. Well, I was going to get around to exploring, as something has gotten in the way. Namely, we have unlocked the tech we've been looking for. Mining drills, Mark II. Problem is, it requires a super alloy rod. We can't make those. Turns out super alloy rods, I had to look it up, they're made in the crafting station, the advanced crafting station, but you can't get them until your planet index hits, I think it's 750 MTI. So top right there, we're at 682, which means we'll get there. It'll just take a bit of time. In the meantime, I say launch a few more rockets. Why not? Might as well shower the place in as much multiplier bonuses as we can, which should speed up the completion of the terraforming. Also, we got a new one. I think it's a seed spreader. Gives a global bonus to oxygen multiplier. Right, so we've done a plant one. Let's do an oxygen multiplier. That sounds like fun. Oh, bacterial sample and mutagen. Okay. If we're going to do a bacterial sample and mutagen, that means we've got to go get a bunch of algae. And we can check to see if our little algae plan has worked. You see, we put down a couple of algae growers just outside here. There's a small pond. I don't know if it's big enough to grow it, but worst case scenario, we can just go back to our starting area and get the algae over there. You only need a couple of these, and they seem to produce quite a lot of algae. In fact, we probably have more back at our base, but I don't care. Yep, that's definitely looking like there's a bunch of algae there. Now, does that thing roll? No, once you're out of it, it stops dead. Good. Alright, you. I can't see the algae. Oh, that's not great. Maybe the algae... yeah, there we go. 2. There's 3, 4... This is actually slightly annoying, because if normally you can go under the water pretty deep and it makes it easier to get at them, we gotta kind of skim along the surface. That's okay. So at least all we need is the algae. That's all we care about. Oh, and we just unlocked the DNA manipulator. I have no idea what that is, but we'll find out. That's all the algae we managed to pick up. There might have been more there, but that pond is too shallow. We need a deeper pond to be more able to Ooh! These things have started showing up. This is zeolite. I assume zeolite starts to kick in once you hit a certain level of spawning. And I think some uranium fell down here. We missed it there. Yeah, we're not going to have enough space in our inventory. It's fine. We got space in the truck. It's why we... Oh, God, we're almost out of oxygen. You know what? We have a spare tank, but I don't like wasting it. It seems like too much effort. We'll drive back home and we'll come back for the uranium later. There's no rush. We got plenty of power. Alright, to make this rocket, we are going to need to get our hands on bacteria samples, which is 3 algae, 3 water. Easy peasy. That's that one. Then we're also going to need mutagen. Mutagen could be a tricker. It requires a bacterial sample. We can already make those. Requires sulfur and a methane cartridge. Now, the methane cartridge could be a problem because that requires us to build a gas extractor. Okay, but I think we can build these now. We actually have the zeolite in storage. That zeolite we've been finding around the place. Yeah, we've got some of it there. So all we need is super alloy and some iridium rods. We got loads of those. Give me some super alloy. Actually, I should probably go on a farming run for those. And that means we should be able to produce the gas extractor. We'll just stick you there. You are set to collect methane cartridges. Methane? Methane? You know what? Who cares? Done. So, that should get us the necessary stuff to make the mutagen. In the meantime, let's stick together some of the bacterial samples, which is going to require a bunch of water. We'll take all of yours. We'll combine that with some algae, and we're good to go. And this is actually, yeah, water and algae. Done. You still need the methane, and then we're one water bottle short. It's okay. I keep a stockpile of water over here in the corner, just for times like this. It just, we do have that water producer outside, but it takes a little bit of time to get things going. And then all we need is a bit of sulfur and methane to get that done. And then a couple of super alloy and a tree bark. Tree bark we get from this thing over here. It produces the tree bark. It spawns every 4 or 5 minutes or something like that. We also keep a stockpile in here just in case we need more of it. Alright, you. Have you produced that methane yet? Nope. We're going to have to give you a minute then. There we go. Right, we'll just let you sit there and do your job. But, this is... It's just a lot of running around and doing stuff, isn't it? You. Missing sulfur. And now, we're not missing sulfur. Done. All the necessary ingredients to make the rocket is complete in the top left, you can see. So, let's go launch this sucker real quick. All it'll do is increase plant growth, which should speed up our ability to make two super rods. Seed spreader rocket. Done. Launch it. That does not actually spawn any meteors or anything like that, unfortunately. Go have fun. Our terraforming is almost there. Once we hit 750, we should gain access to the new mines. That will make our lives a hell of a lot simpler. Before that happens, though, I think I'm going to go at a quick jaunt. I'll grab the necessary resources to put together a habitat along the way with a door. But what we're going to do is we're going to head over to a place that should have a bunch of super alloy on hand. And we're going to drive, of course. This here is our old base. I thought we'd come back to have a quick look. Also, there's a piece of zeolite right there. Yoink! Yeah, let's see how our little base is doing. Oh, and these are our older algae farms because, well, they're in a great location. And you can see there's lots of algae down here, and it's much easier to harvest when it's in deep water. Ooh, that water is actually getting pretty deep. Is that? Looks like we're starting to almost get corals down here. What are you guys? Ah! Okay, no, we can't eat them. It's unfortunate, I know. Alright, let's head over to our base. I can't remember if I left anything good in there, but I'm pretty sure I disposed of everything. Let's have a quick look inside. Ah, new blueprint received. Super alloy rod. 750. Alright, we need to grab some super alloys and head back there. And, oh, there's the shuttle we landed in. And here's our old base. Hello, old base. How you doing? Well, you don't replenish your oxygen anymore. You've got some space food left behind. I'm pretty sure we didn't leave anything too important. Ooh, if you plant... Nah, nothing really good. Seeds... there was no mushrooms. And then the rest is all just raw resources that we left here. Well, that's enough of that. You need to go. We don't need a beacon to here anymore. We'll let this place, well, disappear. Also, we're kind of almost out of oxygen. That's okay. We have the simple plan of just carrying around all the oxygen we could ever need. This feels a little bit busted that you can do this. Just stop, top up, move on. But I suppose if they made it any more difficult, it would just be adding a layer of complexity that's unnecessary. Anyway, our plan is to head over there. Those, them there hills over there are supposed to have some super alloy in them. Find a map that can show me where some of the resources are. It's just... Otherwise, the exploring gets a little bit, annoying as you're like, is it here? Is it here? Yeah, I've found some weird stuff when I've been exploring. Like, I've got a whole bunch of flickering quartz crystal that I have no use for, and, ooh, there's some zeolite. Yeah, I wonder if we can find some way to mine that later on. Or does that stuff respawn, maybe? You know what? I don't know. Who cares? I think I can see some zeolite over there as well. And, yep. You know what? We can go zeolite hunting later. For now, we're gonna pop over to this place real quick and harvest everything we can from inside. We should be able to fly up the cliffs with the jetpack. Yep. And let's go have an explore. I've been around here before, but hopefully there should be some super alloy left. Hopefully I didn't strip the place entirely clean. Yes. More. Give me all of the super alloy. This stuff is a hell of a bottleneck, and I think it's probably the first thing we're going to mine. Turns out there is a super alloy mine. When I was looking for the map, I found some other stuff. But it turns out if we could mine the super alloy, that would save us a whole bunch of effort, because it's one of those big bottlenecks. It takes 6 resources to manually create it. It's not the end of the world. It's just, well, it slows you down a lot. We also appear to have found a wreck, which, yeah, let's go check it out. Probably running a little bit tight on space, though. Oh, damn it. Let me up. Let me up! Never mind, I think there was a ramp over here. Or something. Okay, time to go... Whoop. Raiding. You. What do you got? Oh, come on. Fine. We'll take all of this junk. Ooh. Before we go any further, let's just get rid of that. And... Ooh, yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. We'll take it all. Assuming there's some blueprints in here. That's like the main thing you sort of always want to get your hands on is more blueprints. Can't really get those any other way. And we're going to need to head back and drop off some of this stuff. After clearing the place out fully, this is our haul. I'm thinking, yeah, we'll be leaving a bunch of the iron behind, but... Oh... I think a blueprint screen is in order so we can decode some of these. Vehicle T2 speed and vehicle unlimited oxygen. Okay, unlimited oxygen for the vehicle does sound kind of useful. We can come back for this stuff, but I think... Actually, we'll get rid of some water. I think that's our best bet. Like, thing is, we can't get fabric. That's worth 9 iridium. The super alloy we really need anyway, just to pin the butt otherwise. Zeolite, of course. These Lirma seeds are good for making satellites. That plant, not so much. Get some more uranium, but... Yeah, I think that's pretty handy. All the rest, we're mining that stuff. We're finding it in some other way. Let's just get out of here. We got what we came for. Okay, we can finally put together this miner. Where is it? We've been waiting for these for ages. This will allow us to mine uranium, osmium, super alloy, all that stuff. We just need to get a super alloy rod, which we make out of a lot of super alloy. Like, you gotta imagine, each one of those super alloy is 6 resources. So that's 8 of 6. That's just so much resources. That hurt, like a lot. Now, how much osmium we got in storage? No osmium in storage. We're going to have to scrap some old mines to get the osmium. But the iridium... Yep, that works. Now, which mines to scrap? You know what? We can scrap the sulfur. We're not really using it that much. We have decided to scrap our 2 miners outside. We can replace them in a bit with better miners. But for now, we need to go around and find the entrance to the... Super Alloy Cave. It's around here on the left. I went around to it earlier and cleared it out, so there's no Super Alloy left. But we should be able to put up a mine in there, and that mine will specialize in getting a Super Alloy. And these new Tier 2 miners, well, you can't do it with Tier 1 miners, it has to be Tier 2. And I think it's about 60% of the ore they will produce will be Super Alloy. Which is a lot more efficient than the last batch we were using. And here it is, tiny little cave entrance. So, how deep do we have to be inside to make this work? You. That close enough? Super alloy. Excellent. Now every like 65 seconds or so, I think it'll produce 1 ore. 60% chance it's super alloy. We'll come back for you later, but that should sort our super alloy problems. The only other thing we... Well, there's 2 other... We need to put down 2 more mines. We need 1 more mine to get osmium, the blue stuff. And then we need 1 more mine to get the red stuff, the iridium. So if we've got 3 mines up and running, we'll then have all the resources we need to make more mines. And then we can use those mines to make more mines, until eventually we're able to produce as many mines as we want. Also, we're probably going to want to find some uranium so we can start putting down more power. I have no idea what this is going to do to our power grid. First, we'll do a quick top up on oxygen. Quick check on our power. Yeah, no, we're good, we're good. I can put down another nuclear reactor if we need it. And then, if I recall, it's down here and on the rightish. Yeah, see that little crack over there? That leads to the caves where we can get the blue crystal. Osmium, that's the stuff. So if we can get the osmium in there, that'll sort us. Though you know what? We'll put a mine at the front and see what it does. Okay, we'll put a mine right there. What are you? Osmium. All right, sweet. 2 down. Now all we need to do is ooh, yeah, we're gonna need more super alloy. Yeah, basically I'm going to run around and put one more mine on the iridium. Actually, no, the iridium can wait. One more mine on the super alloy. That's probably going to be our biggest bottleneck. So the first two will have to go there because it requires 8 super alloy for every mine. It only requires 3 osmium. But yeah, I think the super alloy is the big bottleneck, and we do have a bunch of iridium rods in storage. So yeah, I'll be back in like, give me an hour. So this has been productive. We have installed 4 drills over in the red area where we're getting our iridium. We've 1 bringing in the osmium. We have this one bringing in sulfur. We don't need a lot of that. And then we have 3 bringing in the super alloy. We are like, ooh, doing real well. Now, power consumption did go up, but we installed a bunch more nuclear reactors, and that's what brings us to now. See, the problem is, to make more nuclear reactors, what we have to do is launch rockets. Every time we launch one of these heat-multiplying, asteroid-attracting rockets, it calls down a bunch of uranium asteroids, which land either over there. Like, there's a few locations. I know where they all come down anyway, roughly. It kind of spreads out. It's the same locations, depending on which one. So I'd call down 3 of them, and then I'd go grab them all. And that's how we ended up with a whole bunch more nuclear reactors. But what I want to do is start mining the uranium so we don't have to worry about it anymore. So we've pimped our ride a little bit. We have spent a lot of resources on upgrades. We have got vehicle speed Mark II. We've got the Mark I and the Mark II. That cost us those weird white crystals we've been finding in the ground. And also vehicle unlimited oxygen. That way when we get into the vehicle now, instantly replenishes all of our oxygen. Perfect. Well, or at least it tops it up. And then the last thing we got was an air filter, which just became available. Reduces oxygen consumption depending on the level of terraforming. We also upgraded the jetpack a while ago as well. So we're golden. Now we're about to head off and find ourselves some uranium. Ooh, that's much speedier. Whoa, nuclear fusion reactor? Damn it. 1 second. But what does the nuclear fusion reactor require? Oh my god, we could totally build one of those. It requires pulsar crystals. Huh. Actually, if we could get pulsar crystals, I wonder if they're mineable. I did a quick Google, and it turns out, no. You can't get pulsar crystals. You can't mine them. You can find them lying around the place, but you can't actually mine them with a miner. You can create them, though, by taking a bunch of other resources and turning them into that, which would also require uranium. So you know what? Let's... Ooh. A little bit of drift on this now that we've got some Ooh, no. Reverse. I'm going to try to stay out of the water just in case this thing does get stuck. Now, we're heading over this direction because I have been informed by the map that there is uranium in them there hills. Ooh, that's some good airtime. Ooh. And we now have an oasis here. Great, we're going to have to come back to that ship. This place is starting to look habitable. Damn. We're doing work. We have been out here looking for uranium, but instead we're finding magnetar quartz, which... no idea what it is, but we'll take it. We've also got our hands on some osmium, and I'm pretty sure there was some other stuff out here. What was it? Yeah, blinking quartz or something, or flashing quartz. What else have we got in here? And we've got a chest. Oof. Damn it. Too much stuff. We want it all. And we're already running out of storage space. 1 second. Yoink. Like... yeah, I need to find this oh, I should probably drink some water. And let's see if we can't find this uranium around here somewhere. Even knowing roughly where on the map it was incredibly hard to find. Namely because this whole place is now a jungle. But there's our car over there. We came from our base over there. You can see the blue symbol. And then in here, there is... where is it? This section. There's this little cave. And it's got uranium in it. Not a lot of space, though. Yeah, putting in drills I don't think is a good idea here. It's just there's not enough space to put in a lot of them. And we're going to need at least 3, if not 4 drills. And I just don't see this place having enough space for it. Tell you what, we'll try another place. And, ooh, is that something shiny? No, never mind, just water. Okay, according to the map, it's on the sort of back right area of where we spawned. Or like if we basically got out of the capsule when we landed and got out of the capsule and went 180 degrees backwards. Whoop. You know what? We can drive underwater. It's cool. It's fine. Physics, Just a suggestion in this game. Now, we want to head over there to the canyon at the back. This might take a minute. I think I actually know the cave. Oh, that's very flooded. Do you still work? You do not care. Ooh. Okay. A little bit trickier. I mean, this vehicle is hella good. And easy peasy. Oop. This may not be the best race course for this. Oh my god. My god, what engineers designed this road? It's ridiculous, I tell you. No, that's the... I think that's the Iridium Caves? For some reason I have like a muscle memory to hit enter to exit a vehicle. It's not working here. Yeah, these are the Iridium Caves. They also have some osmium and some sulfur. You know what? I'm good. Don't need any of this stuff. We want to concentrate on getting to the uranium caves and setting up some mines. Once we've done that, we've basically got every single building block we need. What am I kidding? This thing can do massive airtime. Doesn't care. That looks like a tight squeeze. In here, maybe? I think so. Alright, now there's supposed to be a uranium cave around here somewhere. First, let's check out what this has got going on for us. Yes, we'll take all of you. And that looks like uranium. Oh, hell yeah. It's got that healthy green glow. Well then, in that case, we'll be back in a minute with some supplies. And this is the joy of having the vehicle. We'll take everything. Actually, we're a little bit shy on space. You can keep the super alloy and the flowers and the seeds and stuff. Yeah, perfect. Okay, we want to put this fairly close to the entrance so it's not too much of a hike getting in and out. There's good and white, and I just hold down the control key so we can get multiples at once. That's 2, and why can't we? Yeah, we can't put down the third one because there's stuff in the way. Fine, fine, we'll do it a different way then. I want to make sure that they're nice and organized. Perfect. 3 uranium mines. There's one more thing I wanted to do. Quick living quarters for oxygen production, and one more thing. It's raining outside, so please ignore the noise there. But what we've done here is we've set up 3 mines. Now, the way these mines are set up, or these level 2 ones, I think 60% of their output is what you want. It's the good stuff. So uranium. Now, we already have a bunch that we found on the ground. Problem is, transporting it back home is a pain in the butt. There's so, like, it's just taking too many journeys. So instead, we put in a tier 2 crafter here, meaning we can turn 9 uranium into 1 uranium rod. This makes the transport costs, well, like 90% less. Well, 9 times smaller, probably. Alright, done. Now, there is one other building we'd like to build here, but I forgot to bring the bits and pieces. But there, that cuts down enormously on the amount of junk we have to carry around with us. And for now, I'll just make sure these are empty. Yeah, perfect. We'll come back for those in a minute. Now, here's one we made earlier, and there's a very simple plan here. All we do is, now, this stuff always produces junk. There's always, like, going to be iron, titanium, silicon, magnesium, and cobalt. All I do is I go through and I rip all of this stuff out first. And it turns out the game gives you a shredder, which you can just dump stuff in. And then you hit the button on the side, and all the stuff inside disappears. So, done. And that leaves us with nothing but the good stuff. So, give us all of that iridium. And then, of course, we've got a little storage thing over here, or a little thing over here, where we can turn it all into rods. And this allows us to quickly get lots and lots of resources, because otherwise you're just... Well, let's just say it takes a while to collect all this and bring it back. Otherwise, there's just the ferrying is a pain in the butt. Before that massive meteor shower interrupted us, we had this many iridium rods. So basically, we just go over there, we fill everything up, we turn them into iridium rods, and then we can use those to make mines. Well, we also need to get our hands on a few other things, but more importantly, we can do that exact same thing with uranium now, because we have 3 uranium mines as well. Then what we do is we take that uranium, we'll turn it into rods, and we'll take those uranium rods, and turn them into T2 nuclear reactors, which gives us a whole bunch of power that allow us to power the mines or the ore extractors level 2 that allow us to get all the osmium, super alloy, and iridium rods, which means it's a virtuous cycle where they all like feed back into each other until we have enough of all those mines. Then we start branching out and we get sulfur as well, aluminium, we replace all the mines with those, and then we have just an infinite amount of those resources. Oh, there's also one other resource we can get, I believe, that we can mine with tier 2s, and that is zeolite. So we can mine the zeolite as well, meaning we should have enough of all those resources to just plow through whatever tech is there. It's just I probably should be building a bunch of stuff right now. I believe we've got T2 food growers I haven't looked at, T4 heaters. Like, I should really be building these things. An auto crafter automatically crafts the chosen recipe if the ingredients are found within a certain range, either in storage or directly in the world. That is going to be super useful. I can't wait till we get drones. And this here is our resulting little nuclear reactor farm. Dear jeeps. So, figured out the bottleneck of bottlenecks was the uranium. We just needed more and more power to power stuff, so we've got 6 uranium mines to get us power. I just brought the last 3 online recently, but we've still got 18 tier 2 nuclear reactors. We have, like, a lot of power, and half of it has been eaten entirely by just the T2 ore extractors we've built up. We have lots of the T2 ore extractors to make sure that we don't run out of materials. But I'm running out of time, and it's just so many things I would like to do. Right, all right. We have actually maxed out on heat. This seems to be done. What do we do now? Like, do we need to put down any more heat buildings? Is there a point? Like, we've unlocked T4 heaters, but if we add more heat, does that help? Or like, I mean, there seems to be a limit where you max out something. So now that heat is maxed out, could we just delete all the heaters and not worry about heat ever again? Same with oxygen and pressure. Once we max them out, do we just delete those machines? Oh, and the reason heat is maxed out is, okay, this is the satellite interface. This tells you how many satellites you've launched. We've launched 13 asteroid attraction rockets that brought us down uranium. That kind of cranked up the heat a lot, which meant that heat got knocked out. We should start actually doing oxygen and pressure as well to knock those 2 out. But assuming we knock out all of those, does that mean we never need to do any of these again? It seems the main one left is the terraforming. Or does more oxygen, more heat, and more pressure, is it more better? I'm not actually sure. And there's then a whole other tech tree over, wait a minute, here in this lab, where it's like we get X amount of biomass. It gives us access to more things like aquariums and, ooh, T5 drills. Cool. And then we get plants. The more plants we get, it gives us access to things like butterfly domes and larvae and all sorts of stuff. And then we've got an insect one, which unlocks a whole bunch of things like the ability to make fabric, which currently we couldn't. Then there's finally animals, which gets us into fish and things like that. So I'm not sure. Like, the fact that there's a T5 drill in there that would, if we get the pressure high or we get the animals high enough, that must mean that more pressure is more gooder for like this. So we can just keep going up. You know what? It doesn't matter. We have absolutely oodles of resources now. We're just going to plow into building as much stuff as possible. I might chuck down about another, let me think, say 10, 12 nuclear reactors in the background without adding any more mines, and then we'll have plenty of power just to next up, we're just going to throw down everything. Anyway, this was Planet Crafter, and it's probably going to take me an episode or 2 more to finish this. I hope you enjoyed, and good luck.